Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the podcast where we really get into it, stacks of articles, research notes, and pull out the good stuff, the fascinating bits, just for you.
That's right.
And today, oh boy, do we have a story. It sounds completely made up, like something out of a cartoon, but I promise you it is absolutely 100% true.
It's a good one.
We're talking a wild animal, right? A really nice local bakery. And an indulgence so over the top it basically became legend.
Yeah, and it's more than just, a funny headline. What we're looking at today, it really touches on some surprising connections. Biochemistry even.
Biochemistry from a raccoon.
Well, yeah. Between our kitchens and the wild, and also how we project ourselves onto animals, and maybe even the kind of subtle ways human stuff impacts urban wildlife.
Okay, interesting. So it's not just haha drunk raccoon.
No, definitely not. I mean, it is funny, let's be real. But this incident, it's actually a really rich place to explore, bigger patterns, animal behavior, sure,
yeah,
but also human storytelling. What happens when, animal instincts meet human comforts or human-made temptations, I guess? What does it tell us about maybe this shared thing of seeking pleasure? And why do some stories just stick with us, become like modern folklore?
Exactly. So that's our mission for you today. We're going to unpack every single delicious, flour-dusted detail of what happened. We'll look at what it really says about animal behavior when faced with, let's say, an unexpected opportunity.
A very potent opportunity.
Of a very potent one, yes. And we'll dig into why this story, this specific raccoon, caught everyone's attention. So by the end, you'll get it. You'll see the whole picture way beyond just a quick news flash.
Yeah, peel back the funny layers, find the interesting dynamics underneath. You get insights into animals, sure, but maybe ourselves too.
All right, let's do it. Let's set the scene. We're heading up north, Peterborough, Ontario, Canada.
Lovely place.
Yeah, you probably think, okay, Peterborough, polite people, nice lakes, maybe maple syrup, right? Famous for that.
World-renowned, yeah.
But turns out it's also occasionally home to these tiny, furry agents of chaos.
Uh-huh. Well put.
And our main character today, a raccoon. And not just any raccoon. Apparently a rather large one. Ambitious.
Definitely ambitious.
And the sentence, the one that just hooks you right away, is that this raccoon was found, passed out drunk, in a bakery.
It's just perfect, isn't it?
It's immediately funny. It's weird. You just have to know more.
In that image, I think it hit something in people. This idea of just pure indulgence, no limits, giving in completely, for a moment anyway.
Like a life goal achieved.
Kind of.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it's not just some animal getting into trouble. It's symbolic. It's like, wow, he really went for it. That dream of just, letting go and reveling.
Throwing caution to the wind, covered in jam.
Exactly. Hedonism in a fur coat.
And the key, the absolute linchpin of this whole thing involves a very specific ingredient, sourdough.
Oh, yes, the sourdough.
Or really, the sourdough starter. Now, if you're not a baker, you might not know, but the starter, it's not just like flour and water, it's alive. It's this bubbly mix of wild yeast and bacteria. Bakers call it the mother dough.
It's precious stuff for bakers. Needs feeding, nurturing.
Right, it's the heart of the bread. And it became, let's say, central to our friend's big night out. So let's paint the picture. The scene of this culinary triumph, or maybe drunken debauchery, depends how you look at it.
A bit of both, perhaps.
It all happens at this really loved local spot in Peterborough called The Naked Baker.
Great name.
Isn't it? Owned by Lucy, who sounds like a wonderfully practical, good-humored person. She poured everything into this artisanal place. And the name, The Naked Baker, it just adds this quirky charm, doesn't it? Like pure bread, nothing hidden.
And that's actually kind of important, the type of bakery it was. Naked implies, natural, high-quality craft stuff, no junk.
Right, not just any old bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This wasn't some industrial factory. This was a place for, a connoisseur, someone who appreciates the good stuff.
Even if that connoisseur wears a mask and has a ringed tail.
Precisely. It kind of elevates the whole thing, doesn't it? It wasn't just scavenging. It was like a targeted raid for the gourmet experience. Suggests maybe an instinct for complex flavors.
A raccoon with a refined palate. Love it. Okay, so this is no ordinary break-in. Lucy shows up one morning, ready to start baking, open the shop, and what does she find?
The aftermath.
Total devastation. Flour everywhere. Like a snowstorm happened inside. Pastry bags ripped open, thrown around like, I don't know, delicious confetti.
The horror.
And the clincher, the little clues, tiny, jam-covered footprints all over the counters.
Oh, the footprint. That's the detail. It tells a story, right? Not just get in, get food, get out.
No.
It's like he was interacting, exploring, having a time.
Mm.
The jam suggests he was really getting into the specific offerings, not just grabbing calories.
Yeah.
Maybe even curious.
Definitely enjoying himself. So Lucy, probably shaking her head, maybe starting to chuckle, I don't know, follows this trail of flour and jam.
Following the evidence.
Leads her to a shelf. Cooling racks, And there, nestled among some day-old croissants, bless their forgotten hearts, is the culprit.
The moment of truth.
Very large, very sleepy. Raccoon, coated, head to toe, in flour and what looked like raspberry jam.
Just imagine seeing that first thing in the morning.
You have to picture it. He looked, I'm not kidding, exactly like a powdered jelly donut. A big, furry powdered jelly donut who had just in that moment achieved his life's purpose.
That is quite the image. It's hilarious, right?
Done.
But was he just sleepy? Full belly, happy raccoon yapping it off? Or was something else going on biologically?
Okay. The drunkenness.
Exactly. Turns out he was completely, utterly intoxicated. This wasn't just a food coma. It was an alcohol-induced stupor, a physiological shutdown, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Understanding that, the biology behind the funny image gives you the whole picture.
Yeah.
It shows how vulnerable even tough wild animals can be to unexpected stuff in our world.
Right. So he's passed out cold, surrounded by the evidence of his magnificent feast. But how did he even get in? It's a bakery, presumably locked up.
Well, the best guess, and it makes sense for raccoons, is through a ceiling tile.
Classic.
Totally classic raccoon. They're known for being incredibly adaptable, smart, sneaky little climbers.
Resourceful.
Very resourceful. A ceiling tile to a determined raccoon. That's not a barrier. That's like an unlocked door. Just another Tuesday challenge.
They really are clever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ethologically, they're fascinating.
Yeah.
Super smart. Amazing dexterity with those front paws, almost like little hands. They're problem solvers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figure out how to exploit our weak spots. Garbage cans, attics, bakery ceilings. It's really a testament to how they thrive in cities, basically outsmarting us sometimes, turning our spaces into their buffets.
Okay, so he gets in through the ceiling, nimble. But what got him so drunk, it wasn't like he found a bottle of wine.
No, he found something arguably much more potent in its own way. He found the source, the mother lode, a big vat of fermenting sourdough starter.
The mother dough, the heart of the bakery.
The very same. The irony is just thick.
So how does sourdough starter make you drunk? I mean, I know it's alive, but...
Right. So this is where the science bit comes in, and it's actually pretty cool. Fermentation, the thing that gives sourdough its tang and bubbles.
Yeah.
It's a biochemical reaction.
Hmm.
The wild yeasts in the starter eat the sugars in the flour and water. They produce carbon dioxide, that's the bubbles, the rise. But they also produce ethanol.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, exactly. So our friend here basically stumbled upon a big tub of naturally brewing, probably quite strong, alcoholic goo.
Wow.
And given his size, raccoons aren't huge. And if he consumed a decent amount of that starter...
Which it sounds like he did, covered in flour and jam.
Right. That ethanol would hit his system fast and hard, leading to serious intoxication, which explains why the vet later called his blood alcohol level unwise.
Unwise. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For him, this wasn't just tipsy. This was a major physiological event, affecting his brain, his coordination, everything.
Okay, so he is hammered on sourdough starter. And according to the local paper in Peterborough, what happens next is described as a drunken rampage.
Rampage! Sounds dramatic.
It does! So what does a raccoon rampage look like? Well, the paper said he tried to climb a shelf full of sugar bags.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, predictable result. Sugar avalanche. Sweet, sweet chaos. And then, maybe celebrating, maybe just falling over, he knocked over a whole tray of eclairs.
No, not the eclairs.
Apparently just rolled in them.
Rolled in the eclairs.
Yeah.
Like on purpose.
Who knows? Was he just disoriented? Was he trying to get the sugar off? Or was he just thinking, eclairs, I must become one with the eclairs?
That sequence, though, it really shows you how impaired he must have been. Motor control, gone. Judgment, out the window.
Yeah.
Rampage sounds aggressive, but climbing, knocking stuff over, rolling, that sounds more like a brain just not getting the right signals. Balance is shot, coordination is non-existent. It's just chaos, not necessarily malice.
Yeah.
The rolling in eclairs could have been him trying to stand up after falling or just exploring this weird new texture while completely blitzed. Basic instincts taking over, when the higher functions are offline.
I have to admit, I like the idea of it being less rampage and more spa-day.
A spa day.
Yeah, like a sugar scrub. Maybe he was just living his absolute best life, exploring all the textures and tastes, totally uninhibited.
Okay.
A connoisseur's chaotic journey.
That's a generous interpretation.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to how we project intentions, right? Biologically, his executive functions planning, self-control would be shot. So maybe not a planned spa day.
Okay, fine.
But the drive for sensory pleasure, sweetness, texture, absolutely. When those normal raccoon brakes are off, instinct takes the wheel. Leads to eclair rolling.
And Lucy, the owner, she really played up the slapstick angle when she told the story. Found flowery slide marks on the floor.
Slide marks.
Yeah, where he clearly lost his footing and just skidded right into a wall. Bang.
Oh, bless him.
And get this, at some point, it looked like he tried to operate the industrial mixer. Can you picture it? This furry drink dude pawing at the buttons, maybe fascinated by the whirring, probably had no clue what it was.
Just, wow. Curiosity or confusion.
But the peak, the absolute lowest point of dignity, or maybe the highest point of the story, depending on your view.
Uh-oh.
He got his tail, his big, fluffy, magnificent tail, caught in the whisk attachment.
No. Oh, the indignity.
Right. Poor guy. Just trying to figure out this big metal thing, and bam, tail meets whisk. You gotta laugh, but also, ouch.
That moment, the tail incident, that's such a clear, almost painful example of how bad things were for him. Loss of motor control, sure, but also just awareness of his surroundings.
Totally gone.
A raccoon's tail is important for balance, communication. Getting it stuck like that, it's not just awkward. It violates his basic instincts for safety, for agility. It shows how completely messed up he was. Survival instincts just overridden by the booze, turning danger into pure comical indignity.
A low point for raccoon kind, perhaps. So after this unbelievable night, the sugar, the flour, the jam, the mixer incident,
The eclair body wrap.
Lucy, the owner, very practical lady despite everything, knew this was beyond her. Time for the professionals.
Makes sense.
She calls animal control. Officer Glenn arrives, takes one look at the scene, the flour, the jammy footprints, the passed out raccoon, lets out this long, tired sigh, and says,
What?
"Yeah, this is the third one this month."
The third one this month.
That's what he said.
Okay, hold on. That detail is huge.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Right.
That means this isn't just a one-off weird event. It's a pattern. It's like a Peterborough-specific phenomenon. A local epidemic of drunk raccoons hitting bakeries.
Apparently.
That raises so many questions. What is going on there? Is everyone leaving their sourdough starter out? Is there a lot of fermented food waste easily available? It suggests the way the town is set up, maybe inadvertently, is creating these intoxicating opportunities for wildlife.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how our world impacts theirs in ways we don't even consider.
Exactly. Human environments creating novel foraging and novel getting drunk experiences, how our infrastructure shapes their behavior. Fascinating.
So, Officer Glenn, clearly no stranger to this kind of call, goes to collect our hero. And it was easy. The raccoon was, quote, too drunk to even protest.
Just scooped him up.
Pretty much. No fight left in him. Just pure boozy surrender. And Officer Glenn said the raccoon just kind of looked at him with this expression of deep, profound regret.
Regret. Can a raccoon feel regret?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Was it actual, like, emotional regret? Oh, man, I really messed up. The eclairs were a mistake. Or was it just the world beginning to spin? The mother of all hangovers kicking in.
The physical misery setting in.
Exactly. The splitting headache, the nausea. Maybe that's what profound regret looks like on a raccoon. Makes you wonder, right? About
Funny.
their inner lives, or at least their hangovers.
It really does. And that's anthropomorphism again, isn't it? Officer Glenn sees regret because that's the human feeling we'd associate with that look and situation.
Right. Makes sense to us.
But physiologically, severe intoxication leads to slowed responses, dull senses, intense physical discomfort, nausea, dizziness, headache. That could easily look like lethargy, sadness, misery. Less an emotional state, more a body screaming, "What did you do?"
So physical agony, not existential angst.
Most likely, yeah. Whether it was true regret or just feeling truly awful, the outcome was the same.
Yeah.
One very subdued, probably miserable raccoon.
So off he goes. From the scene of his greatest triumph and potential tail-whisking disaster
To rehab.
to a local wildlife rehabilitation center, time to sleep it off, get checked out. The vet takes a look, assesses the situation, and delivers that fantastic diagnosis. His blood alcohol level was
Unwise for a creature of his size.
unwise. It's just so polite So Canadian, maybe.
It is wonderfully understated, isn't it? But it's doing important work, that phrase. It gently signals that this was actually medically serious.
How serious?
Very. Raccoons are small. Alcohol hits their system much harder, concentrates faster than in humans. Plus, their metabolism, the enzymes they have to break down alcohol, aren't necessarily evolved for big doses like this.
Okay.
So it's neurotoxic, messes with the brain. Potential organ damage, liver, kidneys. This wasn't just a bad hangover waiting to happen. It could have been life-threatening for him. The vet's unwise captures that danger without being, alarmist.
Sir, your choices have jeopardized your ongoing existence. Understated. So, at the Wildlife Center, they need to call him something, right? Temporary name tag. They dub him Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
I know. And I gotta say, I feel it's a bit disrespectful. This raccoon achieved greatness. He dreamed big, he raided the bakery, he faced the whisk. He deserves better than Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
What would you suggest?
I propose
Yeah.
Bartholomew. Bartholomew Buttercream. Maybe Bartholomew Buttercream III. It has dignity. It reflects his journey.
Bartholomew Buttercream III. I like it. It has gravitas. Fits the connoisseur who braved the sourdough vat.
Right. So, Bartholomew, not Mr. Fuzzy Pants, stays overnight, sleeps it off under observation. Professional care.
Good plan.
Next morning, he's probably feeling rough. They offer him water, obviously needed, and a nice standard breakfast. Dry kibble, nutritious, sensible.
Back to basics.
But Bartholomew has seen things. He has tasted the forbidden fruit. Well, the forbidden fermented flour goo. The vet said he just stared at the kibble, then looked back at her, as if to say...
Seriously, this stuff.
Exactly. Where are the croissants? Where's the jam? Is this a joke?
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's so relatable, though. His standards were just, boom, instantly raised. He's ruined for regular food now.
He's tasted luxury.
It's like you have the most amazing 5-star meal of your life, the sourdough, the eclairs, the jam bath, and then someone hands you a bowl of dry cereal. You just can't go back.
It's true. That experience, that peak sensory overload and caloric jackpot from a behavioral science angle, that's a massive reward. Organisms learn from rewards. A whole bakery. That's potent. It can literally change preferences, create learned taste preferences. He might even seek out bakeries now. It shows how powerful learning is, even if it leads to demanding croissants for breakfast.
A connoisseur is born. So after his night of recovery, presumably feeling slightly better, Bartholomew Buttercream III was released. Back into the wilds of Peterborough. Probably with a pounding headache, a new fear of whisks, and an incredible story to tell the other raccoons. Guys, you are not going to believe what I found. A true legend. Forever searching for the next unsecured bakery. This story, Bartholomew's story, it's just fantastic. But it also makes you realize this whole drunk animal thing, it's not just him. It happens elsewhere.
Oh, absolutely. It's a surprisingly common phenomenon.
Like the moose in Sweden. You hear about this every year, right? Autumn comes, apples fall off the trees, and orchards start to ferment.
Nature cider.
Exactly. And the moose go to town on these fermented apples, get completely hammered, and then what happens?
Chaos ensues.
They stumble into swimming pools, get tangled in kids' swing sets. I think one even got stuck in a tree once. It's like this annual, wild, natural Oktoberfest.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
And it points to a wider ecological thing. Animals eating fermented stuff happens all over. Think fruit bats eating overripe, boozy fruit in the tropics.
Really?
Yeah. Or elephants in Africa raiding marula trees. The fruit ferments on the ground. Even birds getting drunk on fermented berries and flying erratically.
Wow. So Bartholomew wasn't that unusual in the grand scheme of things.
Not at all. It's a natural interaction. Wildlife meets naturally occurring alcohol. Our human world, with all our easily accessible fermented stuff, sourdough, compost bins, fallen fruit, and orchards, just gives them more opportunities for this ancient dance. Biology meets botany. Turbocharged by us.
Okay, I have to say, hilarious as the moose story is, I really hope I wouldn't end up pangled in a swing set after eating fermented apples. I feel like I'd handle my fruit-based intoxication with more decor.
Well, human metabolism is generally better equipped, especially if you have some tolerance, but you never know. High-potency apples, no prior experience. Decorum might waver. It highlights the allure of intoxication for any creature, really. Unexpected outcomes are always possible.
Fair enough. Maybe I'd be upside down the apple tree too. But what I love, getting back to Bartholomew, is the reaction, the anthropomorphism. The whole town didn't just go, pest. They basically turned him into a local celebrity.
They embraced him.
Totally. He became an icon. And the bakery, the Naked Baker, they leaned right in, created a special pastry in his honor.
The drunken raccoon croissant. filled with raspberry jam, dusted with powdered sugar. Perfect.
Isn't it great?
It is. And it's such a perfect example of how we process these things. Projecting human traits, emotions, stories onto animals, especially funny ones.
Why do we do that so much?
Well, it helps us connect,
Yeah.
right? Creates empathy, makes the story memorable. It also helps us make sense of things fitting animal actions into human motivations we understand. Giving the raccoon a backstory, regret, desire, it makes the story richer for us.
Right.
And the bakery's tribute, that's the community saying, this weird thing happened and we're going to own it, celebrate it, make it part of our story.
Yeah.
Turns an animal incident into local legend, even a product. We find meaning, connection, even commerce in these odd moments.
And I think that's the real heart of it. Why this story is so funny, why it resonates everywhere, not just Peterborough. We see ourselves in him, don't we?
Absolutely.
We recognize that.
Yeah.
Total loss of inhibition, that single-minded focus on something delicious, something you desperately want, and then the messy consequences afterward.
The inevitable crash.
Yeah.
It reflects our own desires, our own moments of going too far, maybe.
For sure.
And beyond the humor, it's really a story about ambition in a weird way.
Oh.
Reaching for the stars, right? Even if the stars are inside a sourdough vat. It's about dreaming big, throwing caution to the wind. And for one night, one glorious, jam-covered, flour-dusted night, he got everything he wanted.
He really did. Flew too close to the sun, maybe, but he touched it.
Exactly. He tasted it, embraced it. It taps into that universal desire for pure joy, for triumph, even if it's fleeting and leads to a massive hangover and getting caught in a whisk. It's an archetype.
He didn't just fly too close. He cannonballed right in. I'm already casting the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Gritty Scorsese biopic. Title, The Mother Doe. Opens on young Bartholomew, struggling, stealing apple cores. He sees the bakery sign glowing. Whispers, someday. Cut to training montage. Climbing practice. Preparing for the big score.
With, like, CGI Andy Serkis doing the motion capture.
Obviously. And maybe Sam Elliott doing the voiceover. He came looking for flour, but he found himself.
It's perfect. And it shows how we instinctively use these human story templates, right?
Right.
Ambition, struggle, climax, fallout. We impose that narrative to make sense of it, to connect. We find heroes, even furry drunk ones. We weave meaning into the chaos.
Okay, on that cinematic high note, maybe we should wrap this deep dive up.
Probably a good idea.
So, the big takeaway. If you're in Canada, Peterborough specifically, maybe, secure your sourdough starter. Unless you want to be responsible for giving a local raccoon the best and possibly worst night of its life.
And I think the other insight is that heroes, they really do come in all shapes and sizes, sometimes with masks and striped tails and a serious weakness for carbs.
Yeah, here.
This whole thing, it's just a great snapshot. Urban wildlife adaptability, weird fermentation science, and our human love for a story about just going for it. So let's raise a glass, maybe of water,
Responsible choice.
to Bartholomew Buttercream III, true Canadian icon. May his bins always be unsecured and his hangovers gentle.
To Bartholomew.
All right, so to wrap this all up, here's something for you to think about. This story, The Drunken Raccoon, it's more than just funny, right? It's this little reminder of how weird and unpredictable the overlap is between our world and the natural world. How sometimes really ordinary things in our lives, like sourdough starter, like fallen apples, can trigger these moments of, well, legend. Moments of pure, maybe slightly tipsy, joy, the creatures around us.
Makes you look at your compost bin differently.
Exactly. So maybe think about it. What other everyday things in your neighborhood, things we barely notice, could be a secret temptation, a forbidden elixir for the wildlife sharing our space? What other unexpected legends are just waiting for the right raccoon or moose or squirrel to stumble upon them?